Welcome back to Behind the Blog. I'm Ross Levitan alongside Brandon Piller, and today we're welcomed by... Did he just not show up, Pilsy?
Yeah, I don't know where James is at. Like, we told him, noon, we're recording, behind the blog. Guess he's blogging.
I know, Jam. Like, geez, these welcome to your Karlsson here, guys. We knew they were behind the times a little bit, but man, he just didn't show... Oh, is he an eye in the sky? We've got him on the phone. That's where he is.
Ooh.
James at WTYKY. Short for Welcome to Your Karlsson Years. He's got the wildest and wackiest podcast I've ever heard in my life, and he joins us now. What's going on, Mr. Dorian Respector?
I'm just out here in these streets practicing my ninjutsu and respecting our purple plaid donning king, Pierre Aloysius Dorian. On the first day of the rest of our lives, coming off the signing of Tim Stützle, I don't know what my life is anymore.
At what point did the winds of change reach your little yoga mat?
I was coming out of the grocery store and a friend texted me the 8x8 3.5 or whatever Tim Stützle and stopped me dead in my tracks. Like, I stopped walking. And I remember the last time that happened to me was getting a text back in the 1970s when another friend texted me and said, "We just traded David Rundblad for Kyle Turris straight up." And I was just like, I didn't know what to make of it. At least this one was just pure joy. There's a whole new man we got on our hands here. Like, he's signing players in advance. We've gone from like, can they sign people, to like, whoa, are we jumping the gun just handing out like giant bags of gold coins to everyone? Like, I can't believe this.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to go from last year being like, we need to sign Brady Tkachuk, not only to have him locked up, but we got to hit the salary cap floor. And now they're just handing out $8 million AAV contracts to anybody jumping off their ELC. So the winds of change have certainly come to the Ottawa Senators, and we couldn't be any happier. Oh my God.
Yo, James, when did you start the podcast and the blog?
Like I said, I think it was the mid 80s. No, we're going back in time. We started, I
love those mid 80s podcasts. That was the best podcast era, easily.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were on dial-up. Some friends and I used to send each other long emails about the state of the Sens. It was kind of like right after the Danny Heatley trade and stuff, where everything just seemed so chaotic. And, after just like years of fancy free, like, the Sens are going to be great forever. Like, our biggest problem was like, when are they finally going to go super deep in the playoffs? Went from that to like just kind of complete disarray. Like, you open your eyes, you got a splitting headache, and you look over to the other side of the bed and you see Alex Kovalev, and you're like, when did this happen? Like, and you're wearing a black SNES jersey. You're just like, my life, like, it's a mess. So the blog was kind of born out of that chaos. We just started cutting and pasting our email threads into a blog, which, goes to show the talent bar that we're dealing with, that we had to leap over to become a blog. But, I'm happy to say I've met so many awesome people through it over the years. We've had some amazing contributors. Things have gotten pretty quiet, but, as people's lives have gotten pretty busy, and we're now an intercontinental operation. We used to have a contributor who lived in India a million years ago, but now Luke Pristi is in Vienna, Austria, not to blow up the spot, and Verada is in San Francisco, living his 1% life out there. I don't know what he's up to, but it looks pretty glamorous.
I went to San Francisco for a weekend, and I couldn't eat for the next 2 weeks when I got home. Couldn't afford bread.
Yeah, Verada, if you're listening, make a call. Get this guy some rezos or something on the arm.
Well, I went to a concert. Peeling back the curtain here behind the blog. Went to a concert. Went up and ordered 2 double vodka sodas, one for the lady. Bill came to $88 US. I almost fell over. I brought it back. I said, Rach, sip this one slow, please.
That's why we're doing the Behind the Blog series, to try to make up for Ross's San Fran trip. Jesus.
That's why when the bill comes due for our WordPress account that has cobwebs all over it, it's Verada who's swiping the credit card on that one. Paying that.
What happened to his
$7?
account, by the way? His account got taken. He lost it or something a couple of years ago. What's that story?
I don't know.
I feel like you had to do a reset.
It's probably shadow banned for some reason. I don't know.
Hanging out with you.
Yeah, no, guilt by association. But I evade Jack once again. But I don't know. He's back. Give him a follow.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
So when's the latest episode of the podcast coming out?
As soon as Luke Hortense Peristi finishes editing it, I promise it will be a very long episode that has nothing to do with Tim Stützle's signing, because our specialty is being completely off topic. We made that signing happen by doing this podcast that is essentially about players that no longer play for the Ottawa Senators. So, something to look forward to.
That's classic. Ross and I, like, it's almost like a sixth sense, being like, okay, we just posted the podcast. What news is going to break immediately when we hit publish? So we can appreciate that for sure. Now, when you're going about your business and you got to coordinate all these time zones, Ross's head is probably spinning trying to think about how to coordinate Vienna, Austria, San Francisco. And are we allowed to reveal your geographical location, or is that just as hidden
under
as
lock and key?
Oh no, I'm coming to you from I'm coming to you from the children's play structure in Dundonald Park in Centertown.
Okay, wow, he's getting real specific there. So
I got
then throw that time zone in there too. Like, who organizes the time zone mixes? Because Ross does all that for us. Because if you have two people trying to organize the time zone, you get lost in it. So it has to be one person's job.
Well, I lost out because it was pretty easy for Pilsy to just say the team plays in Eastern time zone, so that's what we're doing. So I got
that was a quick argument that I won. Yeah, very rare W for me on the planning side of that.
But 1 hour throws us for such a mental loop sometimes. It's crazy. So how do you guys even try to do it?
Well, we're lucky enough to have math genius Luke Peristi, who doesn't even have to think about stuff like that. It's just automatically calculated in his head, and he's good enough to set everything up. And
we got to get a time zone guy, Ross. I think that's what's becoming clear. We need a time zone guy.
Was that like a back pages? Where'd you find this Luke guy?
Luke Peristi from the Chet and Luke podcast. If you want to start talking about, throwback classics, but we picked up Chet and Luke from Bonk's Mullet, another flagship Sens blog, when that was kind of wrapping up, I think. So he's become one of my best pals, and the community with the Sens blogging and Twitter and that kind of thing is pretty amazing when you think about it. For such a nightmarish website like Twitter, it sure does produce some good vibes in the Sens world, which is cool.
Yeah, especially recently. But no, that's kind of the whole point of Behind the Blog, right? It's to kind of shine a light on all the different styles too. Like, we've got a few who like to get in the mix a little bit more, who are coming up. We've got the OGs. We're gonna have Sens Chirp, obviously, Graham Nichols, some guys who've been at it for forever. But I love the unique angle that you guys take, where you're just making fun of yourselves for 3 hours.
Yeah, we try to not ever even consider charging money or being beholden to anyone in any way, so we can kind of do whatever we want, which comes in handy when you don't want to blog or say anything for 6 months. There's no one, thanks for reading, thanks for listening is pretty much all you can say. I think it would kind of take a little bit of the wind out of our sails to sort of be obligated to do it, but it keeps it really fun.
So when you're planning to do your podcast, do you guys have a set schedule, or is it more Hey,
No.
the stars can align and we can all make this work. Let's just do it. Do you wait for big news? Like, how does that preparation? I feel like me saying the word preparation probably is a bit of a stretch for you guys by the sounds of it, but how does that all come together?
Yeah, it's been through a couple of iterations over the years. I used to do the editing, and there was like a little bit more like weird comedy stuff in it, and it's kind of changed hands a few times. But back when I used to edit it, which it was on SoundCloud, once again, like amazingly genius move by me. We would do them like once a month, or like give or take, and like I said, things have kind of gotten a little scrambly over the years. You never know who's going to make it on. We'll put an APB out to the contributors like Chet Sellers or Verata, Luke, myself, and see who's going to show up. It's been Luke and I for the last few episodes, but yeah, we took a lot of time off because it was just like the dark ages for Sens fan. Like, let's talk about their 8-game losing streak, or like,
what are you chirping people that do that, James? Huh?
You guys are the hardest working podcasters in Sens business. Like, I don't know how you do it. I mean, like, I've just been following the rebuild for like the last few years, and that's been exhausting. Like, I don't know, as soon as we started doing the podcast, I got to say, like, it really made me respect like guys who take an approach more like yours, or the people on the radio, or it's just like, damn, how do they talk about this for 3 hours a day, or like find something new to talk about every single day? And it's incredible. You guys do it. And it's I hope that the last few months have been some serious pay. Like, we're talking about like something like Matthew Joseph getting a 4-year extension would be like something we could talk about for like a week or something in the past, and now it's just like a footnote in terms of the other things that are happening. Like, we did a podcast where we were just kind of like reviewing all of the amazing stuff that happened, and I almost forgot to mention that Josh Norris signed an 8-year extension. It was like at the last minute, like, oh yeah, that was crazy. Oh yeah, we signed Cam Talbot. I completely forgot about that. Like, we used to just completely pick apart, like, I don't know, getting Victor Stahlberg for like forever. I feel like my cup runneth over with good vibes.
Well, that was the first ever move for episode 1 of Making Sense of the Sens, before, like, back when we were SoundCloud artists ourselves.
Oh, yeah,
so don't think
that.
you're alone in that high-end echelon. But yeah, I think they had just traded for Victor Stahlberg, and we're like, okay,
it was
like,
our first episode. Yeah,
let's do this. Let's do this podcast thing. We're at school, just in the basement, 4 Sens fans in the heart of enemy territory. And then all of a sudden they went to the conference finals, game 7, double overtime. And we're like, this is going to be easy. Let's start doing this more. It's going to be awesome. And then, yes, 2018 happened, but we still had Brady Tkachuk game. And we're like, oh yeah, we've seen quick rebuilds before. Got picked up by Locked On. We're like, yeah, let's do it 5 times a week. Let's go. Get a couple shekels now doing it too. Yeah. First paycheck was like $6.
Quite literally a couple shekels. Yes.
So yeah, things have definitely changed here, just like they have with the Senators. But it's hilarious that you brought up Victor Stahlberg. What a guy! What a legend in the game.
Good pickup.
Preferred player. This is basically stealing a bit from your podcast. Victor Stahlberg or Tommy Wingels, most impactful Senator.
I mean, Tommy Wingels did have being called Tommy Wingles going for him, so that's always good. That's like just the amount of juice you can squeeze from that it puts him ahead, I think.
Like, Timmy's 20 now, and we're already like, okay, like, is it time to just call him Tim Stützle? But when you're 29 years old named Tommy, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I remember that when he was kind of joining the team, was like, oh, and you get those, oh, my name's actually pronounced this way or whatever. And it was like, oh, he prefers to be called Timmy. I was like, oh, this poor kid has never stepped foot in like a North American hockey locker room. Like, that is gonna, and then the next thing you know, he's called Jimmy just for the rest of his damn life. Rookie mistake. Don't worry. Like,
yeah, just like, well, going back to the 2017 editions, Kevin. Jyrki Jokipaka just went
Kevin.
Full-blown nickname. Like, I don't even want to be called Jyrki. I think it was because of Starbucks. He didn't want them messing up his name anymore.
Man,
We've all been there. Do they call
guys.
you? Speaking of Jimmy, do they call you Jimmy James?
No, that's my dad's name. My you know, you got to bend the knee to the Hefe, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Pillsy, what else you got for Jimmy?
When's the next podcast coming out? Now, I know you just talked about you guys did
post-production.
Yeah, we're in post.
No, but when's the next planned one? Yeah, I know you've got your unrelated topic podcast coming out soon, but after that, what's like basically what I'm asking is what's next for Welcome to Your Karlsson years? What's the next step, or is it just keep on keeping on?
Well, you know, we kind of got pretty quiet. Like I said, we're sort of free to do that, and Luke and I did an episode about our queens, Olivia and Anna Melnick, and all the fortune they've bestowed on us in the past few months. And we had such a good time doing it. I said to him, you know, like, let's do it again. And there was no news. So we've done the episode we just did that had nothing to do with anything. That'll be coming out soon. But we plan to do it a little more regularly. And I don't know about you guys, but seeing the ticket availability for the home opener is just like, yeah. we gotta speak on this. Like, I think the vibes going to, I don't know about you guys. Like, I've never thought about, oh my God, I got it. Like, I'm a huge fan of the team, obviously. I've never thought, oh my God, I can't wait to get home opener tickets in like June. You know, like I don't know. Like, I don't want to get too into it, but like this spend money to make money thing really seems to be working out for them. Like they've made us believe in the team again. Yep. And it's I love seeing everything turning around for them, you know, season tickets, fan engagement, sponsors coming back, alumni coming back. It seems like the arena is back on the table. I don't know what's changed in the last little while, but something did. And anyway, I think it's been a long, hard kind of stretch for fans. It's been pretty depressing. And I think we're going to hop on the good vibe train and nice. Start checking in a lot more with our extremely small audience of
we love weirdos. It, man. We're part of that audience. We love what you guys put out, even though your fellas don't no follow back on Twitter, but we'll have to have a chat with them over it. But no, we appreciate you nonetheless over at WTYKY. And I think I had to say that 3 different times when you had us on we had you on the Sens Central City.
It really threw Ross for a loop the first time. I remember.
Not an alphabet guy.
Yeah, like again, it's just part of our very complex and crafty branding strategy. Where it's like, let's have the most difficult name for our blog that takes forever to type in. The acronym looks like a pile of wet laundry. The podcast has 2 titles. Like, you really gotta, this is like the speakeasy where you gotta know the password. Like, I don't know, but you know, as long as the check keeps clearing, you know what I'm saying?
Heck yeah. I mean, this just kind of gives you a taste of what you're going to expect when you head on over to WTYKY on Twitter. It greets you just the way you would expect it to. Punching haters through pizza shop windows. Who's the biggest hater?
You know, sometimes I like to just put a little weather balloon out and, you know, see how the Leafs fans in Ottawa are feeling, you know, like maybe they look like, you know, like one of those glass mason jars full of butted out cigarettes that's been rained on. And there's always someone gotta like be like, actually, no, you're making fun of your own. Like there's always someone. And that is honestly, it's what gives me nourishment. So I would say, I like to poke and prod, you know, the traitorous scum in our city that cheers for a city that hates our city. So, you know, there's a self-loathing there that I like to bring out of them. So it's going to be a fun season.
So who's on your Mount Rushmore of least favorite fan bases? I think we just solidified that Leafs Nation, and I think you'll appreciate this, Jimmy. We got this straight from the source. We pull this up whenever we can.
Oh,
is that not beautiful?
Look at all those people acting exactly like they should. Like they should be used to this by now.
Those are lost souls. Like I see a lot of lost souls in that crowd.
We've asked a few people, James, which one of these guys is making your favorite reaction?
I mean, maybe I'm going off book here, but the purple bucket hat is just couldn't be more perfect with the string. Like, what is it? Windy out there? Are the screams and cries like producing so much wind that friggin' thing is gonna fly off your head, my guy? Like,
and his buddy's got the war paint on too.
Oh yeah, gotta get the eye black going for standing out in that fake Times Square that they have in Toronto, that Fisher Price Times Square.
We call it the leaf pile.
the Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Yeah,
no, that's awesome. I love this. This is a Renaissance painting. Look at the guy grabbing the bill of his hat there, just like I don't know.
Yeah, right under the score sheet, just the arms up like she just ran a marathon. Like no. No, and the guy on the front to our right, but his left, the guy in the purple. That guy tells his barber, "Don't even touch the front of my hair."
No, Caravaggio couldn't capture something this beautiful. This is a moment in time right here. What do we got on the clock? 1:56 in OT to go.
No, this is right after
series over, season over.
This is season over, series over.
You know what's crazy about this photo too is I'm like, what year is this from? Like this could be several years.
Yeah, that's it's always great stuff.
Last one I'm going to point out.
Next year,
Yeah. See the guy with the black Matthews jersey, the 34 with the A, kind of in the middle? He definitely told his girlfriend who's beside him, like, this year's going to be different.
Yeah.
This year's different, babe. Let's go. Let's go down to the leaf pile and just have such a good time. And Pillsy, just to finish it off, I always ask you to explain to our guests what the guy in the neon shirt with the mask was up to all game.
Yeah, in the top right corner is the guy with the neon shirt. And as I was watching the game, they panned to him a couple times, and he has a sign that says, "Do I look nervous?" And as you can see now, that sign is not proudly being held up and displayed.
Jeez, I thought it was one of those like Amazon delivery guy vests and
delivering just got stuck in there.
An industrial crate of Kleenexes for everyone.
Did someone with the name L order all these? Yes, that would be.
I'm looking for an L. Are there any L's here?
Are there any L's? Yes, there are a few. But they're number one. Who makes the Mount Rushmore of the Welcome to Your Karlsson years most despised fan bases?
I
mean, there's two obvious ones. I'm interested in the latter half here.
Yeah. So we're just gonna put the Habs up there. What the most celebrated team from when you used to have to win 8 games to win the Stanley Cup. Kiss the rings. Pittsburgh Penguins, like,
nice,
come on, like these guys. It's like they've had like 2 bandwagon situations in like my lifetime.
And then in between, the team almost went bankrupt.
Yeah, that back when they had Alex Kovalev on the team, that was like their shining star at the time. That must have been pretty grim for them. For the people of Pittsburgh, maybe it's pretty cool, but I don't know. I'm going to specify like bandwagon Penguins fans are pretty gross. Also, like we could talk. I would talk about the Florida Panthers, but they don't have any fans.
Yeah. There's more rats on the ice than fans in the seats.
I'm interested to see like what the fan situation is in Las Vegas. Like, we're Sens fans. You have to eat dirt for the first few years of your franchise existing. Like, these guys just getting to just skate right into the playoffs, and they have like established veterans with like Stanley Cup experience right away. Like, it's so gross. And like, I kind of want to see like you hate to see the downturn of an organization who treats like their staff and players like absolute garbage. I feel like that fan base is a house of cards. I'm curious to see it in like 5 or 10 years. I'm gonna throw them on there as like a newcomer.
All right,
Nice.
I like it.
I like that.
All good stuff there.
My next question to you: if Welcome to Your Karlsson years started today, like in this era, what would it be? Welcome to your blank years. So what brand are you going with there?
Great question, Pillsy.
Well, we have had to rebrand in the past. When we started, we were the Corey Clouston Fashion Review. I don't know if you remember his Men's Warehouse like orange tie with matching orange shirt.
He did wear weird
plastic
stuff.
Bag. Yeah. Like that guy was just absolutely crushing it on game days. And it came with free like cold sweat. That guy just looked so stressed out all the time, and for good reason. Look at your man shining. I love this video format. This is great. Oh
yeah, you're really contributing to it, buddy.
Yeah, you're doing a great job on this video.
You know, I try, but look.
This is
Brian Murray. He looks like a ghost.
This is a young Skip Bayless right there.
Yeah, true, actually. Try to find that orange suit he's talking about. Maybe we could find that. That'd be good.
I'm on it.
So we played it safe. You know, a little spoiler alert. We did talk about on our latest podcast that's coming out that we had, you know, once.
This one.
Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that.
Nice.
That came out of a plastic box that's just like going to exist for the next 250 billion years, like will never break down.
Is that Pierre Maguire wearing a toupee in the front row?
Doing some reconnaissance work for his future job.
Frankie Lassard, this guy ties his skates real tight. He's going to be a player.
So funny you say that. Is spoiler alert from our new podcast. We do discuss when Corey Clouston left, we had to rename our blog, and we almost called it the Francis Lassard Book Club.
Wow.
So I think maybe, you know, Josh Norris did reveal that his hobby is putting on music and walking around in nature, which I just thought was the most endearing thing I've ever heard an NHL player say.
Yeah, for a guy who just signed a $60 million contract.
Yeah, for like a millionaire who's in his early 20s, who's a professional athlete. That's pretty unexpected. Maybe we call it Nature Walks with Josh. You know,
nice. Cool. So, Ross, help me out here. NWWJ. The NWWJ podcast.
No. First guest has to be Dwayne Norris. We had him on Absolute Beauty.
Nice.
Good noof. So that's actually a good one. Nature Walks with Josh. Like that. And it kind of goes with what you're saying. You want to just throw in something that sounds good, but you don't really want to have to focus on too much.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know, we are the best and worst, internet presence at naming things, I think. So
congrats.
We got to carry it on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Any final questions for him, Pillsy? This has been awesome, James. We appreciate it, and we make sure everyone goes and follows you on Twitter at WTYKY. I'm getting so good at that.
Nice, nailed it.
Free idea, James.
Mm-hmm.
You guys need this audio-only podcast on YouTube, because that would just add to the whole thing, and just have like a black screen on, like no graphics, no anything, just a black screen on YouTube.
That's a good idea. So if we got to keep with, you know, the Welcome to Your Karlsson Years brand, we'll probably transcribe it and send it out in an email or some bad idea instead.
Or like have it as like Star Wars, like just like the font just comes as you're talking.
There you go.
Going.
No audio, no video, just the scrolling Star Wars.
No, if you do
with the Sens theme song in the background, just on repeat. Yes.
If you do the Nature Walks with Josh, just have like a VR nature walk happening on video while you guys talk. It's just like a walk through the forest.
Oh, that sounds like a damn dream come true.
Right?
Josh, quit ducking us. Come on the VR Nature Walk podcast that we haven't started yet.
That's awesome, man.
That's good.
You have any questions for us? Anything you want to bring up? This has been awesome. We really appreciated having you on.
Yeah, how the hell do you guys do it? How do you guys are the hardest working guys in podcasting. Like my hat is like it's I don't know how you pull yourself up off the mat day after day with some of the stuff we've had to deal with, but like it's amazing to see like some of the guests. You had Tim Stutzla on before it was cool, you know?
Yep.
Back when he
Well,
was
that one I just got lucky. I'm not even going to take too much credit. I mean, we chased him. Pillsy said I was acting like a high school kid who's chasing his crush who wouldn't email him back. But we emailed every single team that the Senators picked from because we knew that the players were in this kind of purgatory where they weren't going anywhere yet. It was
For the
during the
2020
COVID
draft.
pause.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2020 draft. So Philip Daouz's St. John Sea Dogs did not get back to me. Moncton Wildcats at the time got to put the right team on blast. But Mannheim got back to me and in their initial email said, Timmy says he'll do it. Here's his phone number. Plan a time with him. Like, all right.
That's that German efficiency at work.
Yes.
That's not how they do it out at Moncton, let me tell you.
Yeah. So that was just lucky. But I'll say a quick thing and then let Pillsy take it away from there. But especially in the off season, we've been able to do kind of 3 birds with 1 stone where we'll sit down. So we're recording with you. Then we're recording a season preview with the Buffalo Sabres Locked On guys. Then we're recording our episode today. So yeah, we still do commit the time to it, but then we're going to roll it out over the next number of days. So there are days where you see us put out content where I'm like, when you're listening to this right now on Saturday, I'm driving around Banff National Park right now. So
gorgeous.
We're living in the future a little bit from that standpoint. Yeah, the weather's it's cold at night and warm during the day. Tough for packing, but it'll be great once I'm there. Yeah, I guess other than that, I mean, we've been seeing kind of a little bit of a bump consistently in revenue from when we started to now. Obviously, that helps. Having people give a care helps kind of inspire us and give us motivation. But I think the dumbest idea that we ever had,
Mount
it worked out.
Dumbest ideas. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, what has to be on there is we started doing a postcast where we did a live show after every single game. Our first show was December 2nd. So after Ottawa went 1-10-1 in November, we're like, hey, you know what? This team needs more coverage right after games.
They've earned it.
I told Pierre that yesterday, and he goes, you guys are nuts.
Yeah, he's right. No, I've said, and like I said, I've been around since World War II in this blogosphere, and I've seen people come and go, and try to do what you guys are doing, and like you buried them all: hobos, sea captains, every little gimmick that's come along. So.
The irony is that neither of us are in Ottawa. Like, I'm a born and raised Ottawa guy, Lisgar High School, right around from where you are in Centertown. But I do this from Winnipeg, and Pillsy does it from Collingwood. So it's just kind of the beauty, the evolution from you using your muskets and us using our AR-15s to fire out content. So
yeah, we're Sens fans. We're in these streets. I mean, I see it on Twitter all the time. I'm like, damn, do any of these people live in Ottawa? Like everyone is like,
it is true. But I mean, that's, I think that's a way that, in all honesty, and again, behind the blog, how we've been able to reach as many people as we do is I experience it firsthand being just in Winnipeg, which is 1 province away. I couldn't imagine being even further, but it kind of makes your love for things in your hometown even bigger. So it's kind of a connection you always have to your hometown, the sports team there, and something that you could follow along and still keep a connection with. So I honestly think that how the internet, it's so easy to get from one place to the other in a millisecond, that's really helped how we've been able to grow the show, because we're obviously super passionate about the Sens, and I think people tap into that from anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So it's good shit, man.
My mighty heart is melting over that. And plus, the Sens fan base is undefeated online. Like
100%. They have to be top 5 in overall engagement. It's absolutely insane the amount of reach that we have. And
we got DJ Smith to say yes, ha ha ha, yes, in between, like an intermission interview on TSN
on national TV.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
No, it's awesome. Where's last question? Where's your favorite place to watch a Sens game in Ottawa? If someone's trying to go full Inspector Gadget and figure out who is this James behind Welcome to Your Karlsson Years. What local establishment do you either want to give a shout out to, or where you like to watch Sens games yourself?
Well, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there was a global pandemic for a couple of years there.
What?
But
When?
it's really slowed things down. My future favorite place to watch a Sens game will be down the street from my house at a beautiful new arena.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I think that the Senate is probably the most fun place to watch a Sens game outside of actually being at the game. That I got to give them a shout out for representing the culture in full, not one of these cowardly kind of like real sports kind of bars, but mostly on my damn couch, screaming at the television is also one of my favorite places. So come by, check it out if you're in the neighborhood. Maybe I'll let you look through the window at the TV.
Cool.
Billsy, anything else?
Final question for me, James. What has
Behind the blog? That's a great way to keep your guests longer. I say final question. Billsy comes in, final question, because then you get the excitement of the person thinking it's over in 2 answers.
And then I always like my final question to be like very irrelevant. Like I've been doing the tourism question with the players, like just something fun to end off on. So what has been your worst Ottawa Senators take ever?
Oh, geez, Louise, that's a good one. Yeah, there's been a lot. Like I've had a lot of bad takes over the years. So
me too, buddy. Me too.
Yeah, this is it's like choosing a single tile of a giant mosaic of bad takes. I think that probably my crown jewel is like being skeptical that Erik Karlsson was going to be able to like stiff arm Milan Lucic and be an NHL defenseman. Like I was not used to it at the time. It just, like I said, I remember seeing him in person and at events like not long after he was drafted and just being like, could I beat this guy up? Like this is crazy. Like, you see Sens players around town and like, they're human beings, but they look, I always describe like Kyle Turris has the same physique as me if I worked out every single day. Like, like he's whereas like Karlsson, I was like, wow, I am like much larger than this guy who is going to be an NHL defenseman. That's crazy. I never put it in the street like Don Brennan famously did, saying it was a garbage pick.
Yeah.
But I was skeptical, and like, fast forward a few years and like, I have more than one Erik Karlsson jersey, and like I've contributed to a blog named after him. He's like my all-time favorite Sens player. That's right. I'll say it. I'm looking for someone new to take the crown. It's wide open. If any of our new young stars want to be the new apple of my eye, come and take that title away from Karlsson. But yeah, doubting Erik Karlsson for 1 second, that's my worst take ever.
Quick follow-up though, do you still think you could beat up Erik Karlsson?
Hell no.
No,
I
okay.
think that he's put on some meat over the years. Like he's pretty intimidating for a guy who's like a quote unquote like smaller NHL player. Like I think if anyone's seen him in person, just like walking around, like the guy's been hitting the kettlebells or something over the years.
He's got dad strength now too.
He's got dad strength. That's right, man.
100%. James, we appreciate you so much. Everyone go give him a follow on Twitter, WTYKY.
You're going to hate it.
Right? Did I do it right? Yeah, I think I did it right. Perfect, buddy. We appreciate you for being a member behind the blog, man. We look forward. We got to get you on. I feel like you're the perfect postcast guy. After like a 6-0 loss, just come on and just rip them. Let's get mad as well. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much for having me.